Over the past few years, it's true that L'Oréal Luxe has been outperforming the Asian market. I think in 2012 we've been growing in sell-out at 1.6 times the pace of the market. And this growth has been particularly led by our Chinese performance, where we are the number one group. What is the recipe for this success? First of all, I think we've made a number of very strong strategic bets in China and in Asia in general, entering the market quite soon in 1993, but deciding to launch quite quickly most of our brands, if not all our brands, in China. And today, what is fantastic is that we have a portfolio of brands which is fantastically suited to the Chinese market. On the one hand, we have these great patrimonial European brands which are highly desired by the Chinese consumer. Lancôme and Armani, I think, are amongst the two preferred brands of Chinese consumers. On the other hand, we have two Asian brands, Shuemura, a Japanese brand, and E-Zine, a Chinese brand, which give us a particular understanding and insight into the Asian consumers' needs. And finally, and more recently, we've been able to launch what I call the new luxury brands, like Kiehl's and more recently Clarisonic, which definitely are very inspirational and aspirational to the younger generation of Chinese consumers. So we have the best suited portfolio of brands for the Chinese market. Another strategic bet was the bet of skincare. Skincare is the number one category in Asia and in China. And thanks to the power of the L'Oréal Labs, we've been able to gain significant market share thanks to our skincare bet, which is a very, very strong asset. Finally, and I think it's probably the most important thing to become number one, is that L'Oréal Luxe has been a pioneer in China. We've always tried to lead the way in launching our brands, lead the way in our geographical expansion, lead the way in digital, which is both a way to speak to the Chinese consumers, but also to reach them in the far cities. And this desire and commitment to be constantly ahead of the game is probably one of our recipes, if not the most important recipe for success in China. In order to succeed in Asia, I think it's been a long time since people at L'Oréal Luxe decided to be the most Asian of the Western groups in Asia. What does this mean? It means adapting our products and our ranges to the Asian habits in terms of beauty, to the Asian routines. The Korean routine, which is the most sophisticated, the Asian routine, and now the Chinese routine have direct consequences on our textures, on our fragrances, and on the type of formulae we put in our brands. And we've been doing this for a very, very long time, which has given our brands a very strong resonance with the Asian consumers. In China, the same rules apply. And thanks to our research center in Pudong and our marketing teams based in China, we are really able to dig into both the expectations and habits of the Chinese consumers. On the one hand, we keep on innovating and bringing the Chinese consumers the best formulas and products for our ranges, but we are also able to dig into their needs and cultural habits. For example, we are using traditional Chinese medicine as an inspiration to formulate our products. Of course, for a brand like E-Zine, a Chinese brand which has been entirely repositioned around traditional Chinese medicine, but even on a brand like Lancôme, last year we launched a product called Énergie de Vie, which is formulated after famous traditional Chinese medicine ingredients and which is very successful. The future looks great for L'Oréal Luxe in Asia and in China in particular because we have many opportunities of growth. As you know, the Chinese are today the number one luxury consumers in the world. In L'Oréal Luxe, they will be our number one clientele probably in 2014. We have tremendous growth opportunities because there is a rising middle class who is aspiring to luxury and to great quality products. We will be growing because we have huge geographical potential to expand our brands, our existing brands in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities as we've done it with Lancôme. We have growth opportunities with the digital, with e-commerce, which will allow us to reach more and more Chinese all across the country, even where the brands are not present. And of course, we have growth opportunities with the rollout of our brands, which are not all today either fully distributed or just not present in China. As I told you, we are launching Clarisonic beginning of 2013 with a great start in China. And we're just about to launch Yves Saint Laurent, which will be launched in May in Shanghai and Beijing. And it's the beginning of a great new adventure for this fantastic brand. So lots of growth in China, but also lots of growth with Chinese consumers outside China, because as we know, Chinese consumers travel more and more. And one of our missions and our strategy is also to cater to their needs wherever they want to shop, in Galeries Lafayette in Paris, in San Francisco, or in Hong Kong. So we are very eager to serve the Chinese consumers, and of course, they are going to be one of our number one growth engines in the future.